Gentlemen, welcome to week 2 of the 2018 NFL podcast. I'm back, your boy, the Dreadman, and I'm here with my boys, Flipside and Volatile. What's going on, gentlemen?
What's up, man? You're good. Good to be back. It's been a while.
Yeah, well, welcome back, Volatile. For everybody who doesn't know, Volatile 3 months ago became a father, so shout out to him for that. So, how's fatherhood treating you, man?
It's been definitely a life-changing experience. Definitely got to get used to the lack of sleep. Sleep schedule is flipped on a dime. You're waking up 4 or 5 times a night. Only getting like an hour of sleep here and there, and changing a lot of diapers. It's crazy. But it's a blessing, man. Wouldn't have any other way.
Yeah. All right, now let's get right to business. Week 1. Woo! Where do I begin? Do I start with the obvious ones? Do I start with what the debacle known as the Pittsburgh Steelers Cleveland Brown game, or do I start with Aaron Rodgers being damn near superhuman, or do I start with some of the
You mean Paul Pierce?
Oh yeah. I mean, Aaron Rodgers he's on some next level type of stuff. Coming back from what's thought to be a serious leg injury. Everybody was holding their breath, clutching their mouth, and praying, oh my God, this is not it for the season. Nope. That man came back on one leg and won the damn game. It was an away game too. So what the hell what can you say about Aaron Rodgers? And the thing is, that man knows, it's not even just Aaron Rodgers. That man, he knows how to use his weapons. But Flip, what do you got to say about that?
When he went down, I knew, like, as long as he could walk off the field, he was going to come back. I was already telling Watch, because Watch was panicking, talking about, how old he tore something.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I was like, nah, it was a little breeze. He's going to come back on the field and do what he does. And lo and behold, pulls off the miracle.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I told you last week when we were doing the predictions, I don't doubt Aaron Rodgers has.
Yeah. Well, Walter Tom, what are your thoughts about it?
Hey, listen, I mean, he was in a cart and he had his head down and like he was looking like kind of like dejected. You know, most of the time when you see like these guys like they do an injury, they kind of know like the severity of it.
Yeah.
And they kind of have the look on their face like, wow, like this is gonna be bad. And it was definitely a little bit reminiscent of like maybe like in 2008 when Brady was down with that knee injury.
Yeah.
Like the Patriots season was everyone like all the Patriots fans like, well, this is kind of a wash now. And then can you imagine like being a Packers fan and losing Aaron Rodgers in the first half of the first game of the season?
Yeah, it's like Brett Favre almost. Like I think that he channeled his inner Brett Favre because Brett Favre was damn near Iron Man, and Aaron Rodgers channeled a little bit of that. So yeah.
He was on for that. He was doing it on one foot. I mean, one leg, I should say. And he played. The thing was, like, even before that injury, he still wasn't playing really well. So then, like, even though he came back, it was still kind of taking. I was figured it still might take a little time to get his feet wet and get going. But no, once that second half when he came back, he definitely did.
Yeah.
Kaiser was not. Deshaun Kaiser was not going to get it done. He was pretty terrible in those last 9 minutes of the second quarter when he came in. Yeah. So I know the Packers fans are definitely happy to get Aaron Rodgers back. That performance was unbelievable. That one long throw to who was it? Wasn't Devontae? Who was Devontae Adams? Who was that? The first touchdown he threw.
I think it was Devontae. I think it was. Yeah.
So Devontae, that was dime, and then that long ass play by Cobb, that was unbelievable. Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah.
But credit to Trubisky.
Mr. Trubisky, yeah.
He was that bad in the first half. He was like moving around. He looked actually kind of pretty confident. So
yeah.
I think the Bears fans, even though it's hard for them to imagine them like coming back mentally. Like I don't think they're gonna come back during the course of the season and maybe try to take that division. I think the Packers got that mental lock over them. So.
So Mitchell Trubisky, and to his fans, Mitchell Trubisky did nothing wrong. He actually played as good of a game as you could expect from him. Now, when they go in the locker room and ask, well, what happened? Why we lose? Let me tell you what happened. Aaron Rodgers happened. Exactly. So Mitchell Trubisky and the thing is, if you want to blame somebody for that loss, blame the defense, and that's why the Packers they get my comeback of the week for me. All right, now let's talk about what I really want to talk about. The Pittsburgh Steelers tying with the Cleveland Browns. Let me say that again. And I'm gonna say it slow, just so I make sure that I'm not dreaming, and y'all can hear it too. The Pittsburgh Steelers had a draw with the Cleveland Browns, a team that has not won a game in a season and a half. Now, y'all tell me this. What's worse? All right, the thing is, I'm a huge diehard Steelers fan. So to tout the Cleveland Browns, I'm going to go ahead and just count that shit as a loss. I personally count it as a loss. But what's worse? And the thing is, this Pittsburgh Steelers, 5 turnovers, 3 interceptions, 2 fumbles, 5 turnovers. I don't know what's worse. The fact that Ben Roethlisberger stunk up the place, or the fact that Cleveland was at home, had 5 turnovers, and still couldn't get the job done. What's worse?
I mean, at least you guys have a running back that's pretty good, man.
Yeah. Shout out to James Conner and whoever the hell his barber was, because that mullet was fire. Oh my God.
Yeah, but look at it this way: the only takeaway, the only positive takeaway you can have from that game is the fact that you guys got more leverage against Le'Veon Bell now.
Yeah.
In terms of the contract situation, because James Conner had a really, really good game.
Yeah.
There's nothing that there's nothing he did where it's like, oh well, we had Le'Veon Bell. I mean, I'm pretty sure, yeah, if you had Le'Veon, the game might have been a little bit better.
Yeah.
You guys probably would have won maybe, but it wasn't like you guys, your offense, your running game was not in shambles because you didn't have Le'Veon out there.
Yeah, but Big Ben made some horrible decisions though. Big Ben's decisions were horrible. I don't know if it was him warming up. But the thing is, I think Big Ben was taking way too many chances. He didn't play a lot of minutes in the preseason, but the thing is, he took some unnecessary risks. And Myles Garrett, people need to watch out for Myles Garrett. I mean, that man's a monster. He was on Big Ben's head all day long. And like I said, I'm a Steelers fan, but I gotta give him credit for that. But I mean, the Steelers, they gotta get it together. And T.J. Watt, he should be the player of the game because he saved the Steelers bacon on more than one occasion. He had 4 sacks on Tyrod Taylor. By the way, Tyrod Taylor, he actually looked good out there. What do you guys think?
The Browns need to Baker needs to not say that.
He looked decent. I mean, Baker. Because I was watching First Take this morning. They said, and I quote, "Had Baker Mayfield started, the Pittsburgh Steelers would have won that game."
I think so, man. Tyrod was throwing some legs up there.
Yeah, but he got a lot done with his legs, though. Didn't he have over 100 yards rushing?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you that night. He gets 77 yards rushing. But he definitely had one of those games where he was doing things more with his legs. His completion percentage is terrible, but he was still kind of managing the game with his legs enough to where he definitely had an impact positively. I don't know. I don't think the Browns would have performed better if they had Baker Mayfield out there.
Yeah, I guess we'll never know. But like I said, a draw with the Cleveland Browns. You didn't win, but you didn't lose. I mean, like I said, me personally, I would have to take that as a loss. But I mean, we'll see. Before we move on to our week 2 predictions, what was the game of the week in you guys' mind? For me, the game of the week was obviously the Raiders and the Rams. For me.
What about that game?
Because the thing is, that game shocked the living hell out of me because I didn't expect to see what I saw. I mean, and the thing is, it was probably one of the, well, I wouldn't say it was probably one of the better games I saw, at least one of the most highly contested games that I've seen. I mean, because come on, we're not going to talk about the Saints and the Bucks, and we're not going to talk about the Bills and the Ravens, because those games were blowouts, which I didn't expect to see. And the thing is, the Saints have such high expectations, and people have their expectations set real high for the Saints, and for them to come out there and get bombs dropped on them, by a Ryan Fitzpatrick-led Tampa Bay Bucks team, that says something.
Yeah, but it was actually, I mean, the highest scoring game. I mean, Saints only lost by 8. It was kind of remarkable, but I didn't expect the Bucks to perform that way. But I mean, Fitzpatrick, he's not. I mean, he's like a competent quarterback. He's had a couple of good seasons as a starter, and I mean, the Bucks team got got a good amount of weapons for a guy like him. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that he might scare? He might put a scare into Winston and might actually take a starting job too?
I don't think so. That's a good question, but I don't think so. I mean, because come on, if you're in a fantasy league, who the hell are you starting? Drew Brees or Ryan Fitzpatrick?
I mean, I really compare James to Drew Brees, though.
I mean, yeah.
I'm just saying, when's the last game that Winston had that that good, that Fitzpatrick has?
It's been a while. But the thing is, Ryan Fitzpatrick is a journeyman quarterback. He's been on 5 different teams in the past decade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's a journeyman QB. He's probably got another year or 2 left in him anyway, so I don't even really expect to see him that long. But still, I mean, he did good for the amount of weapons he had still. I mean, but yeah, like I said, I got my game of the week for I got the Rams and the Rams and Raiders as my game of the week. My comeback of the week has got to be the Packers and Bears. Who choked the worst this week though? Who was the choke of the week this week though?
Choke of the week? I mean, go with the Bears. I would say my personal choke of the week is the Chargers. That was horrible.
Did I pick them to win this week? I think I did pick them to win. Yeah.
We should have won because it dropped about 3 touchdown passes.
Yeah. Oh, let me see. Or could you say that the Falcons had the choke of the week?
Oh yeah. I mean, you could argue that. It was almost a repeat of the exact way they lost in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. They got down to the line. They had 4 plays to run from there, and they could not get I kept waiting. I kept waiting for that patent roll out to the right, and they didn't do it. They tried to do it. They went to the left, but I can't believe they can't run a decent play for Julio. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
You got either Julio or Devontae Green in the flat, and I don't know why that offense looks so trash. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. But all right, let's see. Week 2 predictions. Our Thursday night game. We got a divisional matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. Flip, who do you got in this game?
Oh man, I would say the Bengals did both.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like their offense. I like Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon was looking like a really great workhorse for him. So I'm surprised there. But I don't know, that Ravens defense, I thought it would kind of, die down finally, but it's still really good. And it's a division game, they're playing at Cincinnati, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's at Cincinnati.
I want to go with the Ravens, but yeah, I'm going to go with the Ravens. I don't trust Andy Dalton.
All right. What's the top? Who you got? Ravens, Bengals.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Ravens. And then, what's your score? I'm going to give it 27-20.
All right.
Yeah. I'll probably go along those same lines. It's going to be a close game because it's the AFC South. AFC North divisional game.
Yeah.
It's always going to be a hard game.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like those Thursday night games are always kind of sloppy, especially this early in the season. So I don't expect it to be too high scoring. But I think I'm more impressed with how the Ravens perform against their opponent versus the Bengals. I think with the way Flacco looked out there, I was half expecting this to kind of be like another 4 subpar season for the Ravens, But he had a really good game last week, and I think he's not going to have like clean of a game, but I think it's still the team overall with some of the weapons they got, and I think they got Wallace, and John Brown. They got receivers there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to lean towards the Ravens in this game. I'll go with the Ravens. Ravens 20, Bengals 13.
Well, gentlemen, seeing as how I know these teams better than you guys since they're in our division, normally my better judgment would say, well, based off the fact, football's always a what have you done for me lately kind of thing. I mean, I could see why y'all picked Baltimore over Cincinnati. And I can also see why somebody would want to pick Cincinnati over Baltimore this week. I mean, it really is a toss-up because AFC North games, they're pretty low-scoring. Teams don't know, like with the exception of the Ravens and Steelers, you don't see games go over like 24 points. You really don't. But I'm probably going to have to be the devil's advocate in this one. I got Cincinnati. I'm going to take Cincinnati in this game by 3 points. Give me Cincinnati 24-21 over Baltimore. It's a risk. I'm gonna say, I might be a little bit ballsy for this pick, but still, I just got a gut feeling. And you said, like you guys said, Thursday night games are kind of iffy, and like I said, this is a divisional game, so we'll see about that. But I got Cincinnati by 3 points over the Ravens. All right, next up, another divisional matchup. Whew, the Carolina Panthers at the Atlanta Falcons. Now, Carolina beat the Dallas Cowboys, no surprise, in a low-scoring game, and Atlanta kind of, wet the bed against the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I kind of actually did have the Philadelphia Eagles winning anyway. I had them winning by 7 points, but I feel like they're gonna have a chip on their shoulder because of the way they lost. I mean, come on, Julio was probably mere inches away from sealing that game for the Falcons. And Carolina, while they won, they struggled. They struggled against the Dallas Cowboys. So for that reason only, I'm going to go ahead and give this one to Atlanta by 6. And they're at home, so that helps too. So give me Atlanta 27-21 over the Carolina Panthers. Flip, who you got?
I'm going to have to say, okay, it's a divisional game. They're playing at home. I think Atlanta plays better at home, but I don't know, man. It's hard to trust Matt Ryan sometimes, I think Devontae Freeman is still hurt too, right?
Yeah, he is.
So that's another hit because him and Tevin Coleman make a great duo, but definitely Freeman's good. But I don't know about Coleman. Julio's only as good as Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of I'm a little sketchy about that, but I got the Panthers edging it to them at home. I'm going to say 23-20.
Right.
I trust the Panthers offense more, even without Greg Olsen.
Oh.
I feel like they're better off without Greg Olsen, to be honest.
Yeah. All right, Wazatov, who you got?
Yeah, I'm riding the Carolina Panthers in this one. I just trust Cam. I just trust Cam Newton more than Matt Ryan right now. I don't like anything I've seen from the Falcons offense, and really like this last season. And then I was kind of hoping for the opening game for the Falcons to be a little bit more, better offensive showing from them, but we didn't see that. So I don't know. Until they show that, I can't trust them even with a weapon like Julio. And if Devontae Freeman is out, he's not playing at 100%. I definitely gonna lean on the Panthers on this one. Even though the Panthers might be out with Kuechly, I don't know if Kuechly's playing. I still like their defense more. So I'm going to lean the Panthers, even though it's on the road.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that matters so much in this divisional game. I'm going to go with Panthers 23, Falcons 16.
All right. Well, all right. Next up, we got the LA Chargers going up against the Buffalo Bills. Seeing as how the Chargers blew it last week and Buffalo looked like hot garbage dumpster juice. I think this is pretty much going to be a cut and dry win. Give me the LA Chargers, especially because their defense. I mean, the Chargers defense looks a lot better than it did, last year. But still, Buffalo, they've really got nothing. They really don't. The only thing they got is somewhat of a running game. The defense ain't as good as it used to be. But still, give me the LA Chargers over the Buffalo Bills by 9 points. Flip, what about you?
I'm so skeptical, man. I don't know if both is playing. I don't know if we'll have our pass rush. We just lost our star right. We're not star right tackle, but our starting right tackle. So we have like a 6-round backup in there. So I'm scared of that too. But I mean, it's Nathan Peterman, so I'm not too scared, but I'm just a little skeptical because we're missing some pieces that we really need. But as long as we don't drop touchdown passes, I think we'll be fine, even if we're flying over to Buffalo in the morning. So
yeah,
that's another thing I have to factor in. I got the Chargers winning it 23-14.
All right, Wazatov, who you got? Chargers, Bills.
I like the Chargers in this game. I think they can handle them very easily. I was on a podcast last week, but I do have the Chargers as one of my teams, one of the picks in the AFC next to the playoffs, and I do have them handling the Bills, and getting in, fortunately, on their end before the snow starts getting in. Yeah, even without those, I don't think that offense on the Bills is going to scare the Chargers, whether it's Peterman or Josh Allen. Yeah, this is really obvious. It's sometimes the obvious games, like we saw last week with the Saints and the Bucs, like they can flip a dime on you, but I don't think that's going to happen in this case. I think it's going to be the Chargers. Shit. I mean, think about it this way: if the Ravens can put up that much against the Bills, we think the Chargers.
Yeah.
I let the Chargers offense hit more than the Ravens, so I believe they're going to put up a 30 spot.
Oh yeah.
I'll say 34. I'll say 34-17.
All right. Next up, we got the Minnesota Vikings going up against the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. Now, at this point, I mean, as many weapons as Minnesota has and has gotten recently, and as good as the defense is, does it or does it not matter that Aaron Rodgers may or may not be 100% come Sunday? I don't really think it matters at this point. It really doesn't. I mean, because Aaron Rodgers is tough as nails, but I'm not sleeping on Minnesota. Minnesota, they got it. I mean, the thing is, like, the only thing that kills Minnesota is just a couple of miscues and a couple of, so they might have a couple of blown up plays. That's really the only thing that might kill them. I see this as being kind of a close game, probably within a touchdown, maybe within a touchdown or a field goal or something like that. But still, it's going to be a close game. But just based off the fact that, the Green Bay Packers have proven themselves a team that can come back from adversity against a team. I mean, this is a divisional game too. Give me the Green Bay Packers in this game by let's do 8 points. I got the Green Bay Packers win this game by 8 points. Flip, what about you? Packers, Vikings.
I actually have Packers losing this game in my prediction. But man, it's so hard to go against the Vikings, especially when Aaron Rodgers' knee is messed up like that. Because I mean, he pulls it off against Khalil Mack, so it's kind of like, but the Vikings have Trey Waynes and Xavier Rhodes back there, so it's kind of like, is he going to even have enough time to get it to somebody? Because they can lock down two people, and he can't run up. So I'm kind of scared for him because he's definitely going to get sacked at least 2 times a game. And Kirk Cousins looks like he's on par with Thielen, Diggs, and Rudolph.
Oh yeah.
And Dalvin Cook is looking pretty good. So I mean, get that Lambeau. Aaron Rodgers is 51-8 at Lambeau, so it's kind of hard to go against it. I like what the 49ers did against the Vikings with George Kittle, so I think that they can recreate that with Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy Graham. So I'm going to edge it to the Packers. I'll say some high-scoring game, 30-24.
All right. I can dig that. Walter Todd, who you got? Vikings, Packers.
I'm with Cliff in the outcome overall. I do like the Vikings more than the Packers. I just think I don't think Kirk Cousins is gonna punch like Trubisky might have did with the lead, or the Bears overall with the lead on this team. I don't think the Packers defense are just business. I don't think it's gonna I don't think it's gonna be able to contain Dalvin Cook in the flat or getting feeling out there. I don't think so. They look really good. Granted, against my Niners defense is still stepping up, but I still like that team overall. Defensively better than Packers defense. I just don't think even with Aaron Rodgers, I don't think he's even at 100%. I think he's gonna be close, and I might lean Aaron Rodgers to the Packers, but with his knee in question, and like what said, those corners pressing and not giving Aaron Rodgers, any space to move or run, and not giving him much time to get the over guy. I'd like the Vikings in this game. I think this will be a big step towards the Vikings kind of claiming a big brothership in this division in the NFC North, kind of supplanting the Packers from that role. So I like the Vikings in this. Give me the Vikings 27, Packers 17.
All right. Kind of risky, but I mean, what the hell? I'll take it. All right. Next up, we got the Cleveland Browns going up against the New Orleans Saints. You got a team who tied with the Steelers going up against a team who got 40 plus dropped on them by the Bucks. Who has more to prove in this game? Just off reputation alone, I think that the Saints got more to prove. They have more of a chip on their shoulder than Cleveland does at this point. Because Cleveland, they're a team with they really don't have anything to lose. So, they might as well just go. The thing is, as much as I hate to say, I'm not going to say a Cleveland win would surprise me because, come on, it would, especially at the Superdome. Come on, they're in New Orleans for this game. Now, as many weapons as New Orleans has got on paper, New Orleans should win this game pretty handily. But, like I said, Myles Garrett from Cleveland, the thing is, he's going to be keyed in on Drew Brees all day. And he might even be able to stop Alvin Kamara. Now, that just leaves a couple of deep threats that Cleveland is going to have uncounted for. So, Drew Brees might be able to throw down. The running game might get stopped, and Drew Brees might get sacked 1 or 2 times. But, I believe that Cleveland's secondary is sitting ducks. And just for that, based off of that alone, I'm going to give it to the Saints by 9 points over the Cleveland Browns. But, Flip, what about you?
I feel like it's going to be like the Steelers and Browns game, but I feel like the Saints just have a way better quarterback than the Steelers. I'm going to say that Kamara's probably a top 3 running back. You can reiterate.
Top 5, top 3.
Top 5 to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
Top 5 to be safe. But Michael Thomas has shown that he can be a top 5 receiver, so it all comes down to Marcus Lattimore, I think. Can Marcus Lattimore make that one play that'll shut down that Browns offense and let the Saints run away with it? And I definitely think he can. I'm gonna have to say the Saints run away with this, but they're at home too.
Yeah.
The Saints run away with this. I'm gonna say 31-17.
All right, that's reasonable. Flip. Washington, who you got? Saints, Browns.
Yeah, I think the Saints, after losing that game, the original game, the Bucs getting upset by Ryan Fitzpatrick, I think they better come out with a fire in their ass and come out with just guns blazing against this Browns game. I would expect they should not put up any less than 40 points on this Browns game.
Yeah.
Even with the Browns, some of their pieces defensively, like Myles Garrett, like you mentioned. I still think the Saints can just come out and like kind of show people, that they're still a potential like contender in the NFC, and this Bucs game was a fluke. And I think, especially in the Superdome, I just think they're gonna run the score up. Now I think there's definitely a good enough offensive pieces on the Browns to try to hang in there for maybe the first half. But I think the Saints pull away in the second half. So I'm gonna go. This is gonna be a high scoring game, at least for the Saints. I'm gonna go Saints 35. I'm gonna go Brown 20. I'm gonna go Brown 20, 21.
All right. Next up, we got the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets, NFC East matchup. Nobody really cares that much about the New York Jets. The Miami Dolphins, they got just a couple of weapons. I mean, they don't even got Jarvis Landry anymore, so you really can't even say that. But I mean, it's really tough because they're still pretty good. I mean, they're better than the Jets. I'm gonna give you that much because the Jets don't really have that much to work with in the beginning. But still, I don't really have this as that much of a high scoring game. But I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this: I do have Miami winning over the Jets by at least 6 points, just based on the fact that they got more on the table than the Jets do at this point. Because I really don't see the Jets making no noise in this game or this year for that matter. So I got the Dolphins by 6 points. Flip, what about you?
Didn't the Jets just work on the line?
Yeah, which was a shock to me. That shocked the hell out of me.
I think what's his name, Sam Darnold. I think he showed that he can be a great quarterback this year for the Jets. I don't think he has great receivers besides that New England guy.
Mm-hmm.
Their running game is actually pretty solid. I can see the Jets being a problem for the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins I think it's going to be a battle of offenses this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I would say I like the Dolphins' offense better than the Jets right now. I'm kind of a little skeptical still. So I'm going to give it to the Dolphins. I'll say 28-24.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, all right. Walter Tom, who you got?
Interesting. So, if I was to ask you, what quarterback
do I trust more out of set? Yeah. Yeah.
Do you like Tannehill, or do you like the one-star as you thought of Sam Darnold?
I like Tannehill a hell of a lot better. That's not even a question.
Okay. All right. Good second.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Dalton had a pretty good preseason, and then for him to kind of kick off, throwing a pick six on his first pass. I mean, that especially on like a Monday night game, that's kind of impressive a little bit to have that short-term memory and to just come out there and just perform really well. And the Dolphins game, I mean, that game was so trash for a while, and then obviously the rain delay, everything was going for a long time, and then they finally came around to winning it. But I don't looking about the Dolphins offense excites me so much. I mean, the Jets kind of a little bit ho-hum too. I mean, they got some good receivers, Robbie Anderson, but I just don't think that the Dolphins have like any like other than maybe Stills on occasion, big time playmakers. Granted, you don't against the Jets. That's something that's like a toss-up for me, but I believe the Jets are at home, and I think they have a little bit. I think they got a little bit of momentum, a little bit more swagger. I think their win, coming off a win like that, versus the win the Dolphins has, was a little bit better. But I like the Jets mentally better going into this game. I like the Jets to win the 24 to 16.
All righty. Next up, we've got the Kansas City Chiefs on the road against the Pittsburgh Steelers at Heinz Field. Neither one of these teams performed the way that they normally performed last week. Kansas City, the thing is, I thought they would do a hell of a lot better job than they did. In Pittsburgh, we went over that in full detail. So do I really need to say it?
You expected Kansas City to do better?
I expected them to do it. Yeah, I did expect them to do better last week. But I mean, yeah. I mean, the thing is, but that's the thing. I keep forgetting that they don't have Alex Smith anymore. That Patrick Mahomes is helming the ship over there now. I keep forgetting that. So y'all are gonna have to forgive me. I got to get used to seeing Patrick Mahomes. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna take Patrick Mahomes a while to get on the speed of Kareem Hunt and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. It's gonna take him a while for that. They got the weapons, but I mean, the thing is, it's just that Mahomes just doesn't have the experience yet. And going up against Pittsburgh, at Heinz Field. Now, Pittsburgh does not. It's already been confirmed that Bell he is listed as inactive for week 2, so Bell will not be on the field. Even though James Conner, he showed off last week. He's the number 1 running back with 135 yards and 23 carries. So as it stands as week 1, he's the number 1 running back in the league. Who would have thought a backup is the number 1 running back? And Big Ben, hopefully this was just a little bit of ring rust that we saw from him because, like I said, 5 turnovers, 3 of them being fumbles and 2 of them being interceptions. It was 2 fumbles. Big Ben fumbled once because of that strip sack, and then Big Ben threw 3 interceptions, and one of those fumbles was actually James Conner's fault. But as many weapons as the Pittsburgh Steelers have, I see this is probably going to be a high-scoring game. Don't be surprised if this game ends up being like 35-28, 35-31, or something along those lines. Hell, I'll even say 35-34. I mean, you could even say something like that. Maybe Kansas City wouldn't surprise me, but I'm gonna go ahead and take a chance to pick the Pittsburgh Steelers by 3 points over Kansas City. Flip, who you got? Chiefs, Steelers at home at Heinz Field.
I don't know, man. Patrick Mahomes surprised me, man. He looks really solid out there. He looks like he's on a good chemistry with Tyreek Hill at least. Kareem Hunt looked a bit sloppy.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna have a bounce back game. But the Chiefs offense really surprised me, man. Patrick Mahomes looked really good out there. He has the arms to definitely keep up with Tyreek Hill's speed. Sammy Watkins, he can get the ball there. He can get the ball there really fast. He was throwing fastballs out there, man. His receivers are dropping balls because he was just throwing them like 90 miles per hour.
Yeah.
I think he needs a little bit more polishing. And the Chiefs secondary, it gets exposed really badly. We actually had about, I think, like 3 wide open. We had like 3 wide open opportunities. It was really surprising. So I'm thinking the Chiefs secondary is just gonna kind of fall apart. The Juju and AB this game. I'm gonna give it to the Steelers. I'm gonna say 34-23.
All right.
Unless you guys start returning punts or letting Tyreek Hill return punts, then maybe you guys might.
Yeah. All right. I mean, you never know, man, but we'll see. Mazel tov, who you got? Chiefs, Steelers.
I think it could potentially be a good game of the week. I think that I think Mahomes was really, really good.
Keep in mind, out of the last 10 visits, keep in mind before you go any further, out of the last 10 visits, the Steelers have won 8 out of their last 10 at Heinz Field against the Chiefs. Just something to keep in mind.
Oh, of course. But I think you have to throw like history and record books like out of picture when it comes to like a rookie who has no bearing. Like yes, like Patrick Mahomes has no bearing on history like that.
Yeah.
That doesn't affect him. So he shouldn't enter that. He should enter that as like for the fresh slate. And I'm wary on getting really high on the Chiefs because I feel like the Chiefs do this. I've been doing this last couple of seasons where the Chiefs start off really good and their offense was phenomenal, and they're like contenders, and then like at some point by the end of the season, they either barely make the playoffs or they get the playoffs, and it just fell apart.
Yeah.
But this Mahomes guy has his offense looking different. I mean, he's just like he's not afraid to throw it down the field like Alex Smith was.
Yeah.
He doesn't check down. Like he has the arm, and he's got like he's basically like I said, like a lot of people were comparing him to kind of Favre. He kind of is like a Brett Favre 2.0 with that gunslinger mentality. But I think that the way what Flip was describing and how the Chargers were kind of able to expose them, I think Big Ben will definitely do that a lot more and earlier. And he's got the experience, and he's definitely got the workhorses and Juju and AB to do that. And if he just gets another like performance out of James Conner like he did week 1, if week 1 wasn't a fluke, I think the Steelers should win this. And the only thing which is what surprised me is the run game's not there for the Steelers anymore.
Yeah.
And that's really the determining factor. I think if James Conner can at least put up like 100 yards and perform close to what he did last week,
yeah,
the Steelers should win this game. I think it's going to be the Steelers 28, the Chiefs 21.
All right, before I go on, keys to victory for the Kansas City Chiefs. Short screen passes to Tyreek Hill because the Steelers, they suck against the screen pass for some odd unknown reason because the secondary can't get to him fast enough. Give Patrick Mahomes time. And let's see. They got to blitz the linebackers. They got to blitz Big Ben. They have to. Keys to victory for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 1, don't turn the ball over. No turnovers. No tolerance. None of that. He cannot turn the ball over against them. Second keys to victory. Let's see. Run and gun. Short runs and then air the ball out. Throw at least 25, 30 yards off the line of scrimmage because they can't beat them on streak route. I mean, AB on a streak route or Juju Smith-Schuster on a streak route, they can't beat them. Let's see. Third key to victory. They might need to have they might need to not focus so much on sacking Patrick Mahomes as they would just dropping back like in the coverage. Like you can have like somebody like TJ Watt blitz him or something like that, but I'd mainly just drop everybody back in the coverage than I would just trying to blitz him because that front line that they're doing a pretty good job of protecting Mahomes. I'm going to say that. Those are the keys to victory for those two teams right there. Anything that y'all want to add before we move on?
I think as long as they let Tyreek Hill open up the field, I think the Chiefs offense are really good because Mahomes can scramble pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kareem Hunt can. Once he gets started, he can make the Steelers kind of bring their defense in, and that always means Tyreek Hill can make a big play. So you never know with the Chiefs.
All right. Next game we got the Arizona Cardinals going up against the LA Rams, AFC West matchup. NFC West matchup, but the LA Rams, they impress me. They really do. And they really are going to be a force to be reckoned with in the NFC conference. I mean, come on. With Sean McVay's coaching and all the weapons that they got on offense, there's no reason why the Rams shouldn't run away with this. Arizona, they have potential. I'm being nice by saying this, but I mean, I just don't think they're going to have enough in the tank. I mean, they got a veteran in Larry Fitzgerald, but he's not going to be enough because if you look at Arizona's running game compared last year as compared to this year, it's not even close. I don't think their running game is going to be as good as it was, last year. And defense, Arizona's defense, don't even get me started. I'm going to go ahead and just keep this short, sweet, and to the point. Give me the LA Rams by 10 points over the Cardinals. Flip, what about you?
It's going to be a blowout, man. You're way too generous. Hell no. I respect David Johnson and Larry Fitzgerald. Come on now.
Yeah.
Larry ain't getting away from Marcus Peters or Akeem Lee.
Yeah. And Tyrann Mathieu. Let's see. Is Tyrann Mathieu back on? Not that it matters, but yeah.
No, he is actually on the Bears.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, their secondary doesn't stand a damn. Their secondary, I mean, yeah, is monstrous.
Yeah, Patrick Peterson Brandon Cooks, but you still got those Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp, man. And Todd Gurley is a monster.
Yeah, don't even. Yeah.
It's like, man, it's gonna be a blowout, man. I'm calling like 41-10.
Jesus. You're a lot. I mean, I'm probably being a lot more generous than you. Yeah, that's. I mean, like I said, I still got about 10 points. But yeah, Walter Tom, what about you? Rams, Cardinals.
Yeah, this is a blowout. This is the Vegas has the line at 12.5 right now, and I would definitely take the Rams minus half. This is gonna be like a 15 to 20 point blowout. I mean, even like I said, with respect to Johnson and Fitzgerald, it's still gonna be that defense. The Rams. I mean, I forgot the acquisitions they made. Completely forgot that they had Dominic stuff, and I forgot they had Marcus Peters, and then obviously they re-signed Aaron Donald, arguably one of the best defensive players in the league, second to like maybe Khalil Mack. It's ridiculous that's how stacked that defense is, let alone the great offense they have, and the Cardinals they just don't have the horses to keep up, and this is going to be at least 20. I'm guessing this is going to be a 20 point, and it's in LA.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with and it's in LA too. Bradford is going to get eaten alive. It's going to be a Rams 34, Cardinals 13.
Oh, all right. That's probably like the most believable score that I've heard so far. But yeah, all right. Next up, we got Oakland at Denver. Now, Oakland's performance was. I don't even know if I can say it was lackluster, man. Just come on. The Rams did what the Rams did, but I mean, not to say that Oakland is a team that's slacking because they're not. They're not at all. But I mean, Denver did do just a tad bit. I mean, the thing is, they still kind of got to show me something. They really do. Denver's a team that's got potential, but Oakland, the thing is, like, as good as they are, they should not be. I mean, the thing is, they can't do what they did against. They can't do what they did against LA. And besides, Denver is a very, very hard, arena to play in. Mile High Stadium, that's very hard to play in. Believe it or not, I have this as a close game, but I am going to go with the upset. I'm going to give this one to Denver by 3 points. Flip, what about you?
It's a divisional game. Derek Carr plays. I'm not gonna say he plays horrible against division rivals, but he's not the Carr ever against division team. And if he is, it's rare. I think he has one of those games again, and it doesn't help that Von Miller and Bradley Chubb are going to be on his neck. I really actually was impressed by the Denver's offense. Case Keenum, he meshes really well with the Marys and Emmanuel Sanders. Their backfield's looking kind of hopeful. They got that undrafted free agent Philip Lindsay and Royce Freeman.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I really like this team. I feel bad for the Raiders because they're getting back-to-back defenses that can destroy them.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's in Denver, so I'm going to give it to the Broncos. I'll say 23-16.
All right. Walter Tom, who you got, Broncos or the Raiders?
Yeah, it sucks. I think obviously after Derek Carr, he comes off of facing one great defense, and now got to go on the road and face another one. I don't think that. I don't think there's anything. I was expecting more out of Super. I was thinking maybe the John Gruden might come there and kind of inspire and kind of open up that offense a little bit. Maybe kind of again, I feel like the Raiders should do something with those receivers, but it just is not happening. Meanwhile, it looks like the Broncos are rejuvenated a little bit, but just like Case Keenum, Case Keenum is still an upgrade over what the Broncos have had the last couple of years. and I like that. I like their offense cohesiveness a little bit better, and I like that defense a lot more. Obviously, I'm gonna go with the Broncos in this. Broncos at home. I'm gonna go with Broncos 24, Raiders 16.
All right. Next up, we got the unstoppable force versus the immovable object, also known as the New England Patriots on the road against the Jacksonville Jaguars. This might be reminiscent of the AFC championship match. You got a high-powered offense going up against a high-powered defense. This game might solely depend on Leonard Fournette, and if it depends on what Blake Bortles shows up, because we already know what Brady and Gronk are gonna do. Probably the best two-man combo in the league. Well, besides Ben and Brown, but that's just my bias. And I think that Jalen Ramsey and is gonna have to be Jalen Ramsey and let's see who else. Gronk's gonna have to be double teamed regardless. I believe so. And let's see, Calais Campbell. He does. Yeah. I mean, Calais Campbell. He might be able to get to Tom Brady himself. This game is probably going to be more. This really is a pick 'em. This is a tough one, especially since it's in Jacksonville. And you never want to bet against terrific Tom. It's just that Jags, their defense is very, very tough. And Leonard Fournette is, he's a monster on the ground. Provided that this game could come down to either time of possession or turnovers. That's how serious it is. I might regret this, but go ahead and give me the Jacksonville Jaguars 3 points over the Patriots. Flip, what about you?
Yeah, like you were saying, I don't know about Fournette because I feel like TJ Yeldon can come in there and do, somewhat of a decent job. I don't really trust Bortles at all usually. Mm-hmm. But their defense, man, I feel like they're one of the defenses that can actually contain Gronk. I feel like their linebackers are big and fast enough to put a body on him.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's a tough one because, they got Chris Hogan. Patriots are good for trick plays, though, so it's kind of sketchy. I think it comes down to Ken Belichick outcoach their defense. I'm just gonna say the Jags win.
Yeah, like I said, really, all the Patriots have to do is not turn the ball over and they win. But like I said, they're going up against the Jags, so we'll see about that.
I'll give it to the Jaguars. I'll say 24-20.
All right.
Wow.
All right. Walter Todd, what about you? Jags, Pats.
God, I can't believe this. You guys are really picking a Blake Bortles-led team over time.
Yes.
I can't believe it. Especially after the week Brady. Brady had a pretty good week last week. It looked like Brady had fallen off. And, with forward and everything. Brady can't get it done. Even in Jacksonville, I don't really think Jacksonville is much of a home field advantage, like to the point where it's going to affect. Like I guess a team like Patriots. Yeah, you're right. I think they do have some pieces that contain Gronk. But I think it's going to be one of those games where Brady has a bunch of those short passes to James White and Burton, and they just shift the players, and they kind of like don't look to change. And while Brady's gonna take it done, and I think they're gonna do a lot of quick short passes, kind of eliminate those backs that hurt Brady. So, and I just don't, even with the Patriots defense not being too great, I don't think Bortles is gonna be able to capitalize on it. I mean, I like the running back, but I like the front great. The receiving core, it's just not. It's just kind of, I don't trust it. Against Belichick and the game plan. I'm not going to pick against Brady. I can't do that. Not against Jacksonville. As good as defense Jacksonville is, I think it's going to be I don't know if it'll be as much of a barn burner as playoff game was. But I could see this being 27-23.
That is respectable. While I don't agree with your pick, I still respect it because, come on, like we both said, you can't. Tom Brady is somebody who you can't really bet against. But still, let's see. We got the Sunday night game. Another, let's see, NFC East divisional matchup. New York Giants going up against the Dallas Cowboys. The Giants, I mean, the Giants actually did show me something in their defeat. And Dallas, come on. I mean, I think too much faith is being put in Dak, especially when his only weapon is Zeke, and they don't even have Jason Witten anymore. And the Cowboys defense is a former shell of itself. And I see more potential in the Giants than I do with Dallas. And the Giants have proven with the squad they got, I mean, even in the past, they can beat Dallas at home. Dallas being beat at home is not uncommon. It can be done. So with that being said, and oh yeah, by the way, Saquon Barkley, he looked phenomenal. Go ahead and give me the New York Giants over the Dallas Cowboys by 7 points, by 1 touchdown. Flip, who you got? Cowboys, Giants.
I felt like this might be a low-scoring game here. I like the Dallas defense. I think they showed us something against the Panthers. I don't like Dak. I feel like on chart, man. He threw like one pass over like 12 yards in that entire. It's kind of sad.
It's a damn shame.
Did you see that meme that someone posted where it was like the picture of Dak's face? And Dak's like kind of like inside face. It's like when your receiver is open, but you're already 12 yards down.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't think it's like the black. He's like the black outfit.
Yeah.
That's getting exposed out there. Zeke is still weak, but I mean they have Saquon Barkley now in the Giants. They just have Eric Flowers too, but it's kind of like, but I mean Saquon showed that he can still make a big play. I think he had like a 62-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
And of course that Odell still. So yeah, I gotta edge it out to the Giants, obviously. Them beating the Cowboys at Jerry's World is a big one. So I'll give it to them 17-10.
All right. Walter, who you got? Giants, Cowboys.
Yeah, I got the Giants. I just like the Giants. Offense better. I like the quarterback better. I think both teams are a little underrated, maybe defensively. I think everyone focuses on their offense. So I think both defenses are good. I think maybe a little 4 games and divisional games is tough. We have more to watch, but it would be more fun off the timeline to enjoy the action that the Giants, the Cowboys, and we have to go on the timeline. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Giants in this game, 20-13.
All right. And let's see. Last but not least, we got the Seattle Seahawks going up against the Chicago Bears.
We skipped over some games. We skipped over a few.
Oh yeah, Detroit and San Francisco. Yeah, Detroit and San Francisco is one. Yeah.
I'm not just saying that. I'm not saying that to the San Fran. We didn't talk. We got to talk about.
Yeah, we got to talk about Philly and Tampa Bay. Yeah, we got to talk about Philly and Tampa Bay, Indianapolis and Washington, Detroit and San Francisco. We got to talk about those two, and we got to talk about Seattle. Yeah, Houston, Tennessee. I forgot about that. Yeah, let me go ahead. Yeah. Let's do Houston and Tennessee first. Now, that one is kind of gonna be difficult. I mean, the thing is, despite the fact that Houston lost last week, but come on, they lost to New England. But despite the fact that they lost, I actually kind of did like what I saw of them. Now, if they can duplicate what they did last year, I mean, before Deshaun Watson's injury, they'll be good to go. Tennessee is Tennessee. I mean, thing is, they're one of those mid-tier teams that just can't seem to get over the hump. But me, I would give it to Houston over Tennessee by 7 points. Flip, what about you?
This is definitely going to Houston.
Yeah.
They lost Dwayne Walker for the season. Marcus Mariota might be out with a messed up elbow. Yeah, there's not much hope for the Titans this game. I like what Houston did. I think Deshaun Watson had a bad game, but yeah, I think that the Patriots just had their number this time. I got Texans winning this 27 to probably 10.
Very believable. All right, Walter Todd, what about you? Texans Titans, who you got?
Yeah, even in Tennessee, I like Houston's performance against the Patriots much better than Tennessee's performance. I think Deshaun Watson in a short amount of time showed me more. And I don't know what we're going to get. I don't know if we're getting he's either going to be Blaine Gabbert against JJ Watt is Clowney. That's not going to be fun. That's not going to be fun. It's not going to be a fun time. Or it's going to be Mariota with front elbow, and he still hasn't really looked great. So I think it's pretty easily going to be a victory. Houston 23, Tennessee 12.
All right. Philly and Tampa Bay. Philly scraped away with the win last week, and Tampa Bay looked better than they ever have in the past decade and a half. That's probably like one of the better games they played. Jameis who? Exactly. But the thing is, with as good as Philly is, and as many weapons as they got, I don't think that for Tampa Bay, I don't think Lightning is going to be able to strike twice. Because at this point, and you guys can feel free to argue with me about this all day if you want to, but you're going to come up short. Philly is a better team than New Orleans is. All right, okay. Well, I didn't give much. Yeah, I mean, right, as it stands right now. But yeah, I mean, at this point, yeah, I mean, Philly's a better team than New Orleans is at the moment. So I don't think that Tampa Bay is going to be able to duplicate what they did against the Saints. So for that reason, give me Philly over Tampa Bay by 7. Walter Todd, what about you?
Yeah, I like Philly in this. I mean, Philly didn't have a great coming out party. I don't know if it's a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover, but I still think they're our better overall squad. They're a tag team, and I think this definitely would be a game for Lawrence Fitzpatrick to come back down there and completely revert back a little bit to that journeyman that you described earlier. So I think it's going to be Philadelphia pretty handily in the game, even on the road. I'll say Philadelphia 24, Buccaneers 14.
All right. Flip, what about you? Eagles, Bucks.
Yeah, the Bucks are actually going to be playing some play defense. So definitely not putting up 40-something points. I'm not a big fan of the Eagles offense. I think they're still missing Alshon. Yeah, Johnny's looking good though.
Yeah, he is.
So I mean, it's great.
And Nelson Aguilar is probably the best receiver they got.
Yeah, I mean, he ain't bad.
Yeah.
He showed up a lot when Alshon was even hurt last season, so I can't knock that. They still have Zach Ertz.
Yeah, Zach. I don't know where the hell Zach Ertz was that whole game against Atlanta, but that's a different story.
I think I got Eagles winning this 24 to 10.
24 to 10 Eagles. You know what? I could see that. I could definitely see that. All right, next game. Detroit at San Francisco. Wow. Did anybody expect San Francisco? I mean, did anybody expect Detroit to lose like that last week?
Not that poorly. Especially not in Detroit.
Yeah. And did anybody expect San Francisco to come up short last week?
Against yeah.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. You know what? Scratch that. But yeah, both teams lost, but it's like, I mean, well, who has more to lose? The thing, all right. The thing is, I struggle with this pick because it's like, okay, if one of these teams loses, who has a better chance of recovering from this and going to the postseason? If you ask me, I think that at this point, the 49ers might have a better chance of going to the postseason than the Lions do, especially because the Lions got the Packers and the Vikings in their division, right?
Yes, they do. But I would still say like the Niners being in the same division as the Rams.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, you're right about that. You're right. And the Seahawks. Yeah, they got the Seahawks and the Rams in the division. So yeah, damn, they're both up the creeping out of paddle.
They do, but I would still say like the Packers are another Aaron Rodgers back an injury away from being a bottom run team, and the Vikings team with Kirk Cousins potential there, even with the weapon. I think the Lions could still maybe probably either win that division. But the 49ers being behind the Rams, they're not going to touch the Rams. The Rams are like the 13th.
Yeah.
If they lose this game, it's going to be they're not going to have a chance.
All right. Flip, what about you? Who you got? Detroit or San Francisco?
I really like the San Francisco's offense. I don't know, man. Something's up there. I got a lot of hope for him. I like George Kittle a lot. I like the little plays they ran with him. I feel like they actually could have had a chance of beating the Vikings if he hadn't dropped a couple of those plays they were running for him. Pierre Garcon's not too bad. I feel like Garoppolo just needs to make some receiver to step up for him. I think Goodwin's out with an injury, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's limited double check. The 10-year update on him. He's questionable right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I mean, like, okay, so the one thing I don't like about San Francisco, and I might give it to Detroit over this, their backfield trash.
Yeah.
Alfred Morris, horrible. Oh my God, man. I was surprised they were still that close at the end with what they had. But I feel like San Francisco can pull this one off. I mean, if the Jets can blow them out like that, I think Jimmy Garoppolo can come in there and carve them up. I think it'll be high scoring. It'll be close. I'll give it like 34 to 28 maybe, or 34-30. Yeah, I'll go 34-30. I'll go 34-30 San Fran.
All right. And Wazatop, what'd you have their final score as?
So quickly, I think this is another. I think the Niners are another year away from making any noise.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually kind of impressed with how they kind of came back in that game against the Vikings and how Jimmy Garoppolo had a chance to drive down there again. And fuck Alfred Morris was all everything because I swear to God, I had high hopes and I was like, you know what? I'm like, he's reunited with the coach and with the Redskins, and he had some of his best years under Kyle Shanahan, and Shanahan went to him so much around the goal line, and he could not get freaking 2 yards. He just kept getting stuff, and it was ridiculous. That guy, he used to do the home run. He used to do the home run swing.
Oh yeah.
After he scored touchdowns back in the day when he was paired up with RG3.
Yeah.
I mean, he might as well. He's hitting sack flies now. That's what he's doing. He's hitting sack flies on the first down. That's all he's doing now. He's like a shell from himself. And it's ridiculous. I love George Kittle. He's underrated. He's a great tight end. He's one of the better tight ends that no one really been able to pay attention to. And Garcon kind of irritated me can't get separation, unfortunately, and it's gets blocked at every catch. But I do like Jimmy G. You're right, our back is trash, but the Detroit Lions tackle is not that much better. And even with Golden Tate and Marvin Jones, Marvin Jones, I like the Niners in this game because I think the Detroit coach is terrible. I think Patrick was a terrible hire. It's funny because it's such a defensive genius, such a defensive mind coach. He got blown out by a rookie.
Yeah.
So I think Jimmy G is going to take it to him. I think it's going to be 27 to 14. 49ers.
I want to add one more thing. Richard Sherman got put in that spin cycle early on, but he held Diggs down pretty well for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
I think Diggs had one touchdown on the other dude, but he was quiet against Richard Sherman after that one play.
Oh, yeah. Now, me personally, I think that, this is a hard one for me since, like I said, both teams lost last week, so it's hard to really pick. But I just feel like, Jimmy G and the rest of the Niners squad, they got potential. It's just that their defense is suspect to me. It's not as good as it used to be. Now, take me back to the Patrick Willis days, and then come and talk to me. They got Richard Sherman, but the thing is, he's still getting used to that defensive system. So that's kind of an up in the air thing for me. Detroit, they're another team who just seem to just can't get over the hump no matter what they do. And Walter, you are right. Matt Patricia, he goes to a mostly offensive team to a mostly defensive team, or a team that's been known for the defense. He's not a right fit for their system. They could have got somebody else, for their coordinator. But despite all that, I think that, in this situation, I think that the way the Detroit lost, I think that they're going to come out with something to prove in this game. So I might be taking a risk by picking them. So I'm going to go ahead and just give me Detroit by 7 points over there. But, I want to say 7 points. But realistically, it's probably going to be like a 21-24, 17-20 type of game, really, if you want to think about it. But me, I'm going to go ahead and give Detroit by 7 points. Risky? Yes. But, hey, this is the NFL 2018. We've seen stranger things happen, right? Yeah. All right. Next up, we got Indy versus Washington. Flip, who you got?
Man, do we expect Adrian Peterson to be consistent at 33?
Yeah.
Adrian Peterson and Chris Thompson are a really nice backfield. Alex Smith has shown that he's not a fluke.
Yeah.
He's just a system quarterback for Andy Reid. So Washington's offense is pretty good. I don't know, man. Why don't you go first?
Yeah.
Colts, Andrew Luck, he looks, I still think it's a rough off, but I think he looks better than I could have hoped for. And I do think he's only going to get better and better. I was very surprised at how well the Redskins running the ball. I was not expecting that to be a 1-2 tandem with Adrian Peterson and Chris Thompson. They were terrific, and it's interesting because I almost feel like the Redskins might have slightly gotten better. They might have slightly gotten better adding out Smith. I don't know. I think he's maybe a better fit for that team. Jay Griffin's offense, maybe for Cousins was. But it remains to be seen. I think when I look at both teams, I like the Redskins. Like their overall team offense better than the Colts. Unless Andrew Luck, carries this team in this game, which I don't think he's fully 100% back to do that. Maybe like an Andrew Luck from like 3-4 years ago, but right now the stands, I think it's the Redskins. I think they're the better team overall. So I like the Redskins to win this game. I like them to win it, say 23 to 14.
All right. Flip, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Waddle in this one. I like Andrew Luck. He surprised me. I thought he was going to have a funky start, to be honest. His offense just doesn't have it, man. Marlon Mack is hurt. Their backfield's looking a little sketchy. T.Y. Hilton, I mean, he still can make the plays with Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
Their tight ends are actually surprising. Ebron and Jack.
Yeah, Eric Ebron.
I mean, they did work. He's terrible, man. Like, it's sad. Like, Malik Hooker is good for, like, a good blown coverage every game.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to edge this to Washington. I feel like Adrian Peterson might run all over them.
Yeah.
Their O-line in Washington is actually pretty nasty. So I'll give it to the Redskins. I'll say 24-20.
Yeah. I had to go back and forth with this one because I like the Colts. I like them. And I got a few friends and family members who are actually Colts fans. I mean, and the thing is, I live in Virginia, which means I'm mostly surrounded by I'm surrounded by either Carolina Panthers fans, Washington Redskins fans, or Pittsburgh Steelers fans. I'm like in between 3 different states. So yeah, I mean, like I said, you guys broke it down better than I could because I mean, the thing is, the Colts defense is sorry. It really is. And Alex Smith, he's proven that he can do something. I mean, with them. I mean, he's in a whole new system, but he's proven like his well-roundedness as a quarterback, and he can actually do something with the weapons he's given. So go ahead and give me the Redskins by 8 points over the Colts in this one. All right, now we got the Seattle Seahawks going up against the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears, despite in their loss, they still look pretty damn good. But can you say that Mitchell Trubisky is a better quarterback than Russell Wilson is at this point? Didn't think so. Now I'm gonna go ahead and say this: Chicago's defense looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. Yeah, they look pretty damn good. Seattle's defense is a shell of what it used to be. But the thing is, you can't count Earl Thomas out. You can't sleep on Earl Thomas. That man is a monster. Probably top 10 secondary in one of the top 10 secondaries in the entire NFL, and that's saying a lot. Especially since being a secondary is one of the hardest jobs now in the NFL because you can't even really hit the guys anymore. But now it is at Soldier Field, so it's at Chicago. Chicago's at home, and hopefully I'm not taking a risk when I'm picking them because shout out to my boy Jeffrey Ham because I predicted that the Seattle Seahawks would be a record of 10-6 this year. He said that I got way too much faith in the Seahawks this year. He said I got more faith in them than I should. But I feel like if they can get it together like they were in 2013, 2014, they could make a playoff run. So, with that in mind, I think it's going to be a close game. It's going to be like a 21-27 type of score. Go ahead and give me the Seattle Seahawks by 6 points. Flip, what about you? Bears, Seahawks.
It surprised me a lot. Russell Wilson got sacked 6 times and somehow I'm still able to have him.
That's almost as bad as turning the ball over 5 times. Getting sacked 6 times.
Russell Wilson just somehow makes miracles out of nothing. That O-line is terrible. Their defense is horrible. They lost Cliff Averill, Michael Bennett,
Earl Thomas,
and Cam Chancellor. Yeah. I feel like anything that goes up against them is going to put up points, and it depends on if the Bears can just keep chasing them.
Oh yeah, McKinnis is a good running back.
I could see Khalil Mack just terrorizing Russell Wilson just the way he did Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
But he still put like 24 points around. Their backfield deep, and I like Chris Carson. I just got to give it to the Bears, even though Trubisky, he showed something, but I feel like they're still kind of working at the kinks. So I think they could go either way, but I'm just going to give it to the Bears. I'll say 23-20.
All right. Wazatah, what about you? Bears, Seahawks.
surprisingly, I want to lean the Bears in this one. I like their kind of like their defense right now a little more than Seattle. And I kind of like their offense a little more. Granted, I would take quarterback Russell over Trubisky, but in terms of like weapons, I overall I like Robinson. So that team, for a Bird team, that doesn't have really a showing against the Packers, but maybe it'll be more involved in the offense. I like their running back more than I like Seattle. So surprisingly, again, like Cliff suggested and alluded to, I could see this being a game where Russell's having a handful with that front seven and Khalil Mack. I think he's going to be fighting for his life, and I think when we get him in Soldier Field, that they're going to come out and win. However, I won't throw out the chance that the Bears aren't like completely mentally sacked from that loss against the Packers, and they just come out really flat. Against Seattle Seahawks. But I think we'll see. I think this all depends if Trubisky can kind of put that performance behind us, and they can make some better coaching decisions than they did against the Packers. I like their chances against Seattle. I'm going to go with the Bears in this game. Bears 27, Seattle 21.
All right. Now, those are all the predictions for week 2. You fellas got anything that you want to add? Anything you want to see out of your teams? Any upsets that you guys are predicting for next week before we sign out?
I want to see my team go 1-1. That's what I mean.
All right, Walter, what about you?
I would also like to see my California team go 1-1.
Yeah.
I think again the potential game of the week, either between the Jags and the Patriots, or I think the other game I like. I think it was Minnesota.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kansas City, Pittsburgh. Kansas City, Pittsburgh will be a potential game of the week. If Kansas City, if Mahomes comes out and has another great game, I think that right there might solidify his rookie. Not if can't win the rest of the year. So one game last year. So yeah, I can't say that, but I think still have definitely potential lines for an award. Maybe the players get that award out of the NFL league, but they ought to make one out for him because Reed comes out and takes that offense and they beat the Steelers and they're going out. I think they're a dark horse. So I think that's the game of the week. But we'll see. Although a lot of close games, it's a little better week 1.
Especially in the NFC East. I mean, especially in the NFC South, especially.
Yeah, but I just have NFL Red Zone this year, and it was like every game they're cutting to was like a really close game, and hopefully we'll see that too. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Now, my advice to the Pittsburgh Steelers, like I said, do not turn for any circumstances or for any reason. Do not turn the ball over. You turn the ball over once, it's game over. Because come on, 5 turnovers against the Browns, against anybody else, they would have been up like 14 points. The final score would have been like 14-35. So yeah, they can't turn the ball over. Yeah, you're right about the potential games of the week. Like I said, Rams. I mean, not the Rams, but Jags and Patriots potential game of the week. Yeah, like I said, Steelers and Chiefs. Yeah. Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, I forgot about that one too. Yeah, definitely Green Bay game. But yeah, also yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one more. I mean, we're gonna see the adjustments these teams make, and the thing is, and also one more thing, for everybody who has a win in the first week, don't get cocky. There's still a long road ahead of you. Everybody whose team's lost, don't get discouraged. There's still plenty of time. We have 16 more weeks to go. So yeah, everybody, it's just the first week, so calm down. But anyway, I said all I need to say. I spoke my piece, and thank you guys for joining on the podcast. Flip, Walter, you guys are amazing. Thank you guys for hosting the show, man. I really appreciate it.
No problem, man. No problem, man. Anytime.
All right. See you next week, guys. Peace.